The crew worldwide, from Cali to Twitter, real hardcore fans, boxing ass niggas, consistency cops, police the views, we'll pull up receipts for any debate you choose. Shout outs to Clanarchy for the dope production. Ring Gang stay with the best discussions. Ring Gang Radio.
Yeah, what's good, yo? Welcome to another episode of Real Talk, where as always, the shit's real, we talk about it. I'm your host for tonight, Patscorpio, the New England representative, and as always, I got my man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
What it do? LB, Lauderdale boss, GOAT artist, Shutterworth da Gawd, Soul Wars creator, Ring Gang, Radio.com.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Ring Gang in the motherfucking house, man. And as always, I got my other man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
What up? Hey yo, you already know who it is. Your boy King P, Bodega Boxing. Let's go. We in the building.
Hey, Bodega in the house. That's what it is, man. So yeah, tonight's show is dedicated to recapping probably one of PBC's best offerings in a long time, from top to bottom. Long time. Of course, we're talking about, excuse me, I have a little heartburn going. That's from that little chicken I just made yesterday. Hey, so the pay-per-view card main evented by Errol Spence versus Shawn Porter. And to sum it up, unfortunately, I wasn't like the other two. They were able to watch this shit live, but Saturday night, I had a function to go to, had a family function to go into. I don't regret it because the function was on point. That was so flashing money and all that stuff. Legitimately flashing money. One of the very times I do it. So I had to catch up. LB had to film me, had to get LB's opinion once I actually got back home on how the card went. So I had to go watch the next day between watching the football games. But from top to bottom, this card was on point. The four main fights, every fight was on point. And I know LB and P are eager to get into, talking about the main event. But we'll get to that. First, I just want to, shed some on the undercard, because the undercard was pretty eventful.
Yeah, it's all good. I got time. I got all the time in the world, so I'm waiting.
Yeah.
I'm building up.
Choppers loaded.
Exactly. The pay-per-view opened up with Josito Lopez versus John Molina Jr. That fight, if I'm not mistaken, I thought it would end in a knockout or decision or something like that, but I didn't think it would end. I thought it was going to end early, because I watched that shit and Josito was like a man possessed, dropping Molina I think twice in the opening round. I was like,
they were hard knockdowns, like
hard, yeah. Yeah, and Molina, I don't think ever got fully into the fight after that. Josito, like, you don't look at Josito as a puncher, but obviously, dude broke Victor Ortiz's jaw with one punch.
He could punch a bit though, like that's the thing. Like,
who said he can't
Josito Lopez got good technique. Like, he's a solid guy. Like, he could hit hard. Like, it just it don't show like that when he's going against better fighters. Unless they're coming off a layoff.
Yeah, exactly. He has the Ortiz, and then he damn near almost knocked out Marcos Maidana before getting stopped, and
had his foot all in Berto's ass.
Yeah, exactly. But
before the knockout.
Yeah, but after that, he hadn't scored a knockout in quite some time. It's been a while, so just to see him drop Molina in the opening round, I was just like, okay, this is about to end early.
Because he thought it was the 8th round of the Thurman fight. That's what it was. He still had the power ready. But one thing I do say about that fight, I almost felt like Lopez was low-key letting Molina get back into the fight. I was like, dude, like, I felt like he could have stopped him a lot sooner than when he did, because it felt like he just kind of took his foot off the gas. Like, I'm expecting him to kind of pump the jab a little more and kind of keep up the pace, and he kind of just settled down and let Molina get steady and land counter hooks and right hands. But he did get him out though.
Yeah, that could have easily backfired, because Molina, like I said, You know, dude's like a cat with 9 lives at times, man. And
Man,
you
but
don't want,
Molina was hurt, bro. I don't think Molina. But when he took his foot off the gas, Molina was still clocking him.
yeah, he was, yeah. and surprisingly, Jose took them shots well because I was waiting for just either a left hook or a right hand from Molina to have Jose to do the stanky leg and go down. You know, I was waiting for that too. And like I said, they had a pretty good opening scrap. Like you could tell the crowd was in the fight. You know, they were interested in all that stuff. You know, it was a good little opener scrap. That's what you need to set up a pay-per-view. And then, you know, Molina, I think the tank just ran empty. And I think it was like the 8th or 9th round, and the ref was like, "You guys, show me something, John, show me something." You know, and,
the ref really wanted that fight to go the distance. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like he had a better some shit. Like, yo, I'll give you one more round. Show me something. Like dude gets hit 3 more times. Show me something. Drop twice. Show me something.
You know, and they finally had to stop because like Molina was just like, you know, he was just like shell shocked at that point, man. So I mean, it was a good fight for us to see, good exposure, good win on a pay-per-view like this. So you know, props to him. You know, obviously, I mean, Osito will probably sooner than later will probably get a shot at somebody. Probably I wouldn't say another title shot immediately because you know welterweight's kind of tied up right now. But
him and Lipinets would be a good fight.
Who?
Him and Lipinets.
Oh yeah, Lipinets, yeah, for sure, yeah. You know, I mean,
they could make that shit. I'll watch Lopez and Collazo. Where the fuck Collazo been? But
Collazo's actually he's fighting on the Better Beef Bostic undercard.
Oh wow, okay, yeah. All right, damn.
Yeah,
got all about him.
Yeah, he's fighting in a couple of weeks. You know, and it should be dope. You know, and but yeah, no, Molina. You know, Molina, I think is. I honestly think now the wells run dry for him. Like I honestly don't see any more miracle wins from him.
He out of lives. He got no more lives left.
Biggest punch resistance is finally lowered to the point where I don't think he could be competitive with guys on his level or even below him.
Yeah. Like
because I mean Lopez ain't supposed to be hurting you like that early. Like he ain't even like Molina ain't even get tired yet or not worn out or anything. He just automatically getting hurt. And this ain't DeMarco who's a known puncher. This damn Lopez who you know who's strong, but damn, come on.
Yeah, I mean, between that, DeMarco, and then of course, you know, Lucas pretty much beat the absolute crap out of him. You know, eventually beat the absolute crap out of him.
Yeah. You know we was about to jump on that shit.
Yeah, you know, I mean, yeah, and then of course you have Crawford beat the absolute shit out of him. And Red Cash was putting his foot to his ass before Molina's retard right hands and shit bailed him out. You know, and yeah, and I think, and although the figure I think was the last hurrah type of thing, because I mean most people
was. And see, that's what fucks up boxing because I felt like Molina was robbed in that fight. Yeah,
you know, it was more competitive than it should have been. You know, which is shame on Omar for that. You know,
and then Omar gets to fight with you guys.
Yeah,
and then officially loses. So it's like, bruh, like, I think Figueroa's probably had the worst damn 2019.
Pretty much, you know, and I mean, it probably even worse than Molina.
Yeah, definitely. Because yo, look, you can't need a gift for fucking John Molina in 2019, and then lose bad to a guy like you guys who is solid, but I mean, come on.
Yeah. It doesn't stir the Kool-Aid, yo. Seriously.
Yeah, another one of those injuries and inactivity and discipline. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and I think Molina. I think whoever is the brain trust behind Molina should really pull him out and be like, you know, yeah, this is done. I mean, he's not going to get any other shot. He's finished.
Yeah, he's only gonna take more punishment, get hurt, You know, I don't want to see dude, you know, get starched down and just brutally, you know,
Right, exactly.
KO'd any worse. You know, I don't even want him to be an opponent for nobody. You know.
Yeah, you don't want to see him turn into another fucking ghost. You know?
Yeah, it's different if he would have, if him and Lopez would have went life and death back and forth like a war, kind of like how we expected or hoped for. If he would have got KO'd in a war, I would have been like, yeah, you know what? But I think he's more passive than, say, Chris Arreola.
Facts. Yeah, absolutely.
Damn, I want to say Angulo, shit. But, shit, honestly, I thought Angulo was the most shot boxer.
Yeah,
and his performance the other day, I think it got to be Malena now.
Yeah, no, Angulo at least has life, you know. Angulo, you know, is slowed down, but not to the point of not to a Malena's point of slowed down.
No, he slowed down to Malena's point back in the Canelo fight.
Fact.
I don't know how you turned it around this time. I mean, I bet unless Quillen's so trash, you just get better when you in the ring with him or some shit. I mean, I don't know.
I
don't know.
Yeah, no, but yeah, Molina, like I said, he put up a good effort. He put up an entertaining fight, but yeah, it's the end of the line for him. Like, you know, if they have to put him in the dark match status, you know, have him beat up, you know, a lowly jobber, you know, and at least to end his career with a W. But yeah, you know, I don't want to see.
I put him in there with the ghost.
Yeah.
Winner, loser, both go home. Fuck it, like we done. Special guest referee Devin Alexander.
Facts.
And everybody just leave after that. Like that's it.
Facts.
Give niggas they gold watch from the PBC company, pat on the back, and the severance pay, and that's it.
Right, exactly. And let them just, you know, try to live the lives, you know, have a good, healthy retirement, you know, and no brain injuries to be, you know, to be wary of or to worry about.
Exactly. Enjoy your money, because I'm gonna be honest, Malena done gave us too many come from behind, too many good fights, entertaining fights, win or lose. So you don't want to see a guy like that get destroyed and, you know, get fucked up and all that shit any worse than he has to. So yeah, hang him up, guys. Good career though, man. We enjoyed you.
Correct. You know, that's absolutely correct. Facts.
Except for that bullshit fight you gave us against AB.
Oh yeah. We ain't gonna let you forget that fucking Broner fight. That Broner fight was fucking trash.
Yeah. You know,
how hard it was staying up that night. Shit.
Yeah, shit. But I don't blame Molina. Molina was shell shocked from the ass whooping he got from Lucas still. So, you know, it was Broner's doing.
This dude wasn't talking. The dude wasn't talking like that in the build up to the Broner fight.
I know, right? Didn't he have something to make a song dissing Broner too?
Yeah,
he went all out.
He did do that, but he was shell shocked though. He didn't know what he was saying. His mind wasn't right at that point in time. But yeah, you know, the next fight on there was Mario Barrios versus Batir Akhmedov. Now Barrios had been on a couple of Showtime and PBC broadcasts, you know, big kid for 140, like dude probably shouldn't really be at 140 in the first place, you know, but you know, dude has
middleweight,
right? You know, dude has shown some potential, like punches hard, you know, bullies fighters around, you know, typical weight bullyish behavior. And then you have Batir Akhmedov, who, you know, is one of many Eastern Euros who had spent time during the World Series of Boxing stuff. And you know, the World Series of Boxing cats, like they had their 7-0, 6 KOs or whatever, some crazy record like that. But sometimes they upset the apple cart, and you know, they can provide a very serious test. But it didn't look that way in the beginning though. Like I'd say like the first 3 or 4 rounds, it was all Barrios right there. Barrios was actually, you know, was doing what he was doing. And I'm thinking to myself, as I'm watching, it's like, man, Akhmedov probably isn't the truth. Like he probably needs to go back to World Series of Boxing bouts. And then he got knocked down for the first time in the 4th round, and it was like a flash knockdown because dude like lurched forward and his gloves, and then both of his gloves touched the canvas, so he didn't go down like fully. But after that round though, it seemed like Octave decided to fight harder, and based off work rate alone, started beating the living shit out of Barrios. He
was putting hands on him. I wouldn't say beating the living shit out of it. Like, bruh, like
nigga, that worker was like. I mean, he really was like.
I mean, dude was putting the beats on him. Right.
He was putting the hands on him, but when you say beating the living shit out of someone, I'm looking for clean punches that are staggering and buzzing and hurting someone repeatedly, knocking them pillar to post. Like, you know, y'all gotta dial it back, because I ain't seen no one get beat the shit out of. Like, he put hands on dude and he started winning all those middle rounds and shit. And he was pushing dude around a little, but beating the shit out of, like, if that's beating the shit out of, what the fuck did Mayweather do to Gotti? Gotti, R.I.P.
Well, I mean, either way, I mean, there was a beating being handed out.
I just felt like that pressure was physically dominating him from a physical standpoint.
It was, because Barrios didn't look like he was handling pressure, but he didn't look hurt. He just looked more like flustered and overwhelmed a little bit. He looked
way too uncomfortable for my liking. So
like how Spence looked in the main event, huh? Nigga looked the same to me.
Letting another
motherfucker throw punches at him.
We'll get to that. Well, don't. Let's not get to that now. We gotta wait for that.
Like Barrios, like the pressure got to Barrios. Like Barrios, like he had his eyes had the trademarks and everything like that. The pressure got to him. Active was just simple work rate, and that alone was like the fight was close to me. But Barrios in the 12th round managed just to go another flash knockdown on him, and I was like, oh. Well, it was a flash knockdown. What are you laughing?
Cause I know it's like when you seen that shit probably just irked you, because you're like, damn, now he done really legit made this a closer fight.
I did. I was like, fuck.
That's what I'm laughing.
And I was just like, oh, damn it. And I was like, this shit would tighten up the cards. Like, the fight, and I think I had scored that shit like 114, 112. Yeah, like 114, 112. Probably though. But the official scores were some bullshit. Like they were like wide scores. I was just like, what the fuck is that? They're just clever. Like, now this nigga first is gonna win this fight. Ain't no way. It's gonna have to knock him out. This cat is not gonna win the division.
Had them Pat Swift scorecards.
They filled up the scorecards before the fight even started.
They're like, Pat, is this it? Like, you don't think he's gonna get dropped the first half, right? Nah. Have him up anyway.
I felt for Akira because I was like, because when they announced the score, I was like, oh, okay, maybe it might go his way. But I was just like, Barrios won again. Like the fight was close enough where it was close but clear. It wasn't wide, like what. And I felt for him. I was like, Barrios didn't win shit.
I felt like it could have gone either way or been a draw, but not at those damn. It felt more like a draw than a Barrios win, though. I don't think Barrios won that.
Yeah, I probably would have called it a draw.
But the scores were too wide for him to win anyway. Like, if you had him winning by a point, I could understand, but.
Yeah, the official scores, like, them shit was, like, wide as fuck. Like, it was just like, Akhmadov didn't have a prayer to win. Well, I think one of the judges had my score. The other one had it a little bit too damn wide.
He had a prayer, and that shit went away in the 12th round when he got dropped.
Yeah, exactly. It was like it was highly unfortunate, and
This is why defense and ring generalship is mad important, man. Cause knockdowns be costing people fights, man. I promise you.
Mm-hmm.
That one punch.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, that's what makes knockdowns. Like, yes, You know, you can be winning a round, but if you go down, that you lose that round. Like that's how it goes. You know, you gotta be penalized for getting knocked down. Stay your ass up.
One of those rounds where you got your ass whooped for like 2 minutes and 50 seconds. And you finally score a knockdown, then it might just be 10-9. One of those Klitschko Brewster rounds. You're throwing planets at your ass.
Right? Oh man, but I felt for him though. Like, but I wrap it up though. I mean, do put up a hell of a performance, man. Like,
he did.
I don't know whether it's gonna be on PBC broadcast or it's gonna go to Zone or ESPN or whatever. I mean, it's a 140. 140 is not really as strong at PBC as it is in the Zone or ESPN. So I mean, I'm pretty sure we'll see doing in the very near future. Barrios though is officially on the suspect list.
That nigga off my TV.
You know, like I said, I mean, this dude, like as you say, he should be really a middleweight, either 154 or middleweight. I mean, he's too like you can't be that big and not use a fucking nut jab. Like, I mean, dude, Bate Akudov was a smaller fighter, was significantly smaller, and was bullying him around. That shouldn't be at all. You know, and Barrios didn't do a damn thing except just catch work over and over and over again. You know, like, and he just didn't know how to handle small pressure for a fight, and it was kind of like that's a flaw. Like, you know, you might need to work on that a little bit. So, Pete, were you about to say something?
No.
Okay. You know, so Barrios, you know, you got some work to do, and you have a regular 140 belt, which we all know is kind of BS. You know, but you know, PBC fighter needs a belt to maintain.
Fuck out of here with that Kmart championship shit.
To stay and condense with the other real champions and stuff like that. So
damn, they still got Kmart. Fucking Kmart belt, nigga.
Oh man, and then we have the co-main event. You know, we have Anthony Dirrell making his first title defense of the WBC super middleweight title against former champion David Benavidez. So everyone's what did you guys think of that fight?
That was a damn good fight. Started out, I thought Dirrell started out. The fight started off in Dirrell's favor, and then just that's how I thought it would be. I thought Dirrell would have the advantage, you know, to start off, countering him, was establishing, you know, position, jab, and you know he sorry, I flustered my thoughts right about now. Benavidez just wasn't like if he knew how to cut the ring off, my God, he could have really fucking got him out of there earlier. Like, but he just started slow. He couldn't get anything down, and then eventually that punch fucking just. Then the pressure just changed the fight. Fucking that eye was, oh my fucking God, that was crazy. Yeah. And he's had, you know, it's the same cut because he's had that cut twice already. So it's just another wound that's weakened and reopened. I don't know how they let that fight go as far as it did when it did, because that fight should have been realistically stopped 3 rounds before it actually got stopped. But that's another story. Yeah.
But the thing though but Dirrell was, even with that, was still mounting a comeback. Like he was arguably winning, even after that, he was arguably winning some of those rounds. Like Benavidez looked. This is the benefit from the first Gabriel fight. Like he looked average. He didn't, you know.
I thought the whole fucking fight was average. Like y'all niggas saying this shit was a good fucking fight. I'm just listening to both of y'all niggas. Like the fuck.
I thought it was a good fight, but
a good, like seriously, like Benavidez fucking moving like a damn grandfather at a quinceañera or some shit. He can't cut off the ring. He following Dirrell. Dirrell moving and boxing scary. He not really. He looked good doing it, but he didn't look effective to me like that because he wasn't landing clean punches like that. Like
I didn't think
they were half jabs.
I didn't think he was fighting scary. I'm not gonna say all that now, but
he wasn't taking no risk. Where was the fucking right hand? Where was the left hooks? All this nigga did was just circle and fucking jab. Oh, and jab to the stomach.
But that was throwing him off. Until Benavidez showed that he could get past the jab, like he was just, hit him with
that
the jab.
jab wasn't enough. It was never gonna hold Benavidez back. Like, dude didn't take no fucking risk at all. Where were the hard right hands to the body? Dude just was like, you know what? I'ma press the X button and just use this the whole fight. And I'ma just jab and circle. Hey, they weren't even no great jabs. Like, this ain't Lennox Lewis versus David Tua. This was Darrell moving around and placing a jab out there, and some of them would connect. Well, a few of them would connect, and a few went in, and like the fight ain't get good until the fucking cut. I see why they kept it going. Shit. That's when them niggas started trading, which is what Darrell needed to do. Yeah, he wasn't gonna win this boxing. What the fuck?
Yeah, but the unfortunate thing, though, I mean, because Benavidez was struggle boxing, that's the whole thing. That's the reason why he started doing that bullshit.
But that's the thing. You're trying to outbox somebody. You're not even dominating a guy who's struggle boxing. Mm-hmm. So how good are you actually boxing?
Good enough.
I mean, it was enough that.
But you not dominating. You not hurting him or nothing. He's still coming to get you.
I mean,
so does it matter?
To me, it kind of matters, but I get what you're saying. It's just like, yeah, he didn't. We definitely didn't see the best Darrell, but the fucking worst part is that part of Darrell that he was showing was good enough to get him by until the cut. So
he was getting him
what
by.
What does that say about Benavidez?
He wasn't doing anything really. Like, it was just like, if you're going, like, let me say it like this. If you were going through the channels and you stopped and you saw what Darrell was doing in the first early rounds, you're gonna look at it and be like, he looks like he's capable of outboxing this guy. He's moving around, hands up, he's at an angle, he's circling, he's pumping the jab. But when you start looking at it closely, you're looking at it like, okay, he's not really hitting him and stuffing his face with the jab. He's not really placing hard shots like that to the body. He just kind of just keeping distance from him. It was like smoke and mirrors to me. That's all that shit was. Like, I wasn't fooled by that shit. Benavidez wasn't even doing much either. So yeah, Darrell looked a little better, but Benavidez fought like a guy who knew what was going to happen the whole time.
That's funny. That's how he did in the fucking Jay Leon Love fight too.
Please do not miss. Oh god.
And that fight went on too long.
Yeah.
Darrell was right about that. That shit should have been one fucking round. 1 minute of one round.
Facts.
See, the way Vargas, I'm sorry, the way Lopez was teeing off on Molina, that's how the Jay Leon fight should have looked the first 30 seconds.
Facts. But yeah, once Benavidez cut Darrell with a legal punch, man, and that blood. Like, I didn't like seeing Darrell get battered around at the end because, like, the nigga couldn't see. Like, the judges, the doctors didn't pull him out. Corey wasn't pulling him out. And Benavidez was just, like, tagging him. Like, it was just, I didn't like seeing him get battered around like that. And that's what got the stoppage, So, I mean, it was disappointing that Darrell, again, loses his belt in his first title defense. Loses another belt in his first title defense. Benavidez gets the belt that you were stripped from because he had a cocaine problem.
Yeah, he never lost the belt, so it was never really, he never really lost it, so it was really his to begin with. But
never lost the belt. He never lost a damn 8-ball apparently. Fuck.
Shit, but I mean,
I losing no kilos in that house.
And now, of course, they're calling out. I think Caleb Plant. I think Caleb Plant was like, "This is the guy I think they're gonna beat me," And then Benavidez is talking about we want Caleb Plant. So I can see that fight. That's probably gonna be made for some.
He would knock out Plant, but it would be a stale fight before it happens.
Plant would lose. Plant would be fine until he loses stamina, and then once he gasses, then that would be the end of that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
well,
Caleb Plant look real good up to it though. Like he'll do a better job of outboxing dude than Darrell was doing. Yeah, he will. Watch. Let that fight happen.
It's like
don't let your hate for Caleb Plant.
No, I don't hate Caleb Plant.
Not you. I'm talking about Pat. Like,
I feel like the way I look at it, I don't think Plant is like super slick like everybody makes him out to be, but he's slick enough and jabs well enough to exploit the shortcomings in Benavidez's game. Because Benavidez is such a plotter and just, oh my God.
Square. Yo, that was the slowest plotting I've seen in my life. Like,
but it's crazy because it's like he's a great combination puncher and he has hand speed, but his footwork is so fucking slow. I hate that. I don't know why.
You got that quicksand.
Yeah, you punch in quicksand. I hate that.
Dude honestly was there walking around like Frankenstein to me, basically.
That's a waste of good hand speed. Having plotting ass.
Like a fucking mummy, just following him around the ring. I'll wait for them to throw a roll of toilet paper in that bitch.
Yeah, Benavidez. I don't know if he's just bad training or just rusty as all hell or who knows. But
he always looked like that. It's just
I don't know. I'm starting to get
dude employed Darrell tactics to that degree of success before.
I don't know. I like Benavidez, but I'm starting to get like Margarito vibes from this nigga.
Nah. Margarito could cut off that fucking ring, man.
He can't cut off the ring, but he's just like he fucking just walks around, stalks you, and like he's a hard puncher, but oh my, such a plotter. I can't get past the plotting.
I don't know. Plotting looks like we really hate when we see short people plot. Cause we're like, this little midget fuck, man. Get in there, man. Pump the jab. Get in there. You ain't gonna hit him, little short nigga. But when you see a tall guy plod, and he just looks so
with fast hands,
and you're like, the fuck, like, get to this guy already. Like, somebody give him Amir Khan's feet. Like, imagine that Gary Russell had no footwork. Like, oh Lord. And you made him Hispanic and grew up about another foot. That's David Benavidez. It's like career mode. It's like I'm gonna focus on all the hand speed and power. But your homeboy sitting there on the couch with you, like, nah, man, you gotta put something on his footwork, nigga. Like, he gonna be slow moving around the ring. Like, nah, man. I'm gonna get to him anyway. I'm gonna knock him out as soon as I touch him. Fuck, I need my feet work to be fast, bro. Yeah. Look what you got. Slow plotting ass, Statue of Liberty ass nigga.
And Benavidez I can tell he's strong, but he doesn't fucking use his strength. Like, he doesn't maximize his strength.
Cause he got too much reach. So he don't even get up close to you unless he finally start on the fourth punch of that 10 punch combination.
Oh man, Benavidez, LB's I wouldn't say hatred, but vitriol. That's the word for Benavidez is killing me.
Oh no, he cool. Like shit. Like I'm just going in on it because it was just to me. Look, when people hype dudes up and you're expected, you're talking about all Darrell's old. You blast them out, this, that. And when you don't do it,
I feel you. And there's a lot of hype about Benavidez because of the talent and his youth and all of that. And I was texting my boy while I was watching the fight, and he was definitely not impressed. And he texted me back. He's like, "This nigga is the PBC Zerto." I'm like, damn.
Damn.
Ciao.
Damn, that nigga sound like he working on a guest spot. Damn. Hey, what up, cuz? Oh shit. He said PBC zero. Oh man, damn. I ain't gonna lie. I don't think there's nothing else we can say to top that one. As far as Darrell, I wouldn't mind. He didn't look bad. Where it's like, damn, retire. He ain't on no Melina shit. I just want him to heal up. And he just decide what he want to do.
He's definitely on the decline, though. I don't know.
Yeah.
He has maybe a couple fights. I don't know. It's
and it's worse because he's prone to cuts now. I mean, it's not just one eye; it's both eyes. Because a lot of his fights just keep ending up with these horrible cuts. So it's just like, he's I wouldn't say he's on borrowed time, but yeah, he's definitely declining as a fighter.
I don't want to hear nobody say that he don't got heart though, because that dude really does have heart. Like we talked all the people, in general, the boxing fans have criticized the Darrell brothers.
It's Andre Darrell that they say that don't really have no heart. Like everybody always give Anthony, heart and guts like the dog. Like he gets rough with you, he hangs tough. It's Andre Darrell is the one that get that rap. Like
pretty much.
I don't even fully agree with that either. I don't think he has I don't think he has the dog in him that Anthony does. But I don't think I don't think he has no heart. Like I don't know. The chunky fight he showed heart in that fight, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Because think about it like this. If you put Anthony Darrell, if you switched him out in the Frotz fight, Frotz probably getting stopped.
Yeah.
True.
Damn near was stopped by Andre. The last 2 rounds, shit. Fucking horrible robbery.
Facts.
Never wanted to run that shit back either.
Frotz is. I don't even want to get into this big nose dude. I don't even want to talk about it.
Damn, no fucking Carl Frotz. Gee.
Yeah.
Man, be talking so much fucking shit too. Good lord, next.
Yeah, with his Michael Jackson nose. Fuck out of here.
Okay, 2K Sam ass. Fuck out of here. Oh man.
Yeah. So I mean, yes. I mean, I thought it was entertaining. Pete thought it was entertaining. LB wasn't really fucking with it, except until the cut. So yeah, I mean, it was a perfectly acceptable co-main event. So I'm not gonna hate on it.
We didn't know the cut was gonna happen. Shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't a bad fight. Shit, like the 3 undercards I thought were solid. Like,
yeah, they were.
Yeah, I was entertained.
They were solid on paper and put out the way. And as boxing fans, depending on if you pay for the pay-per-view or you go to the theater or you do free per-view, you still want to get your money's worth.
Niggas want to get their connections worth.
Yeah, exactly. And Undercard definitely delivered. So kudos to PBC for getting the Undercard right on this. Which now brings us to the main event. Yes.
Yeah. Before we start the fucking main event, one thing I don't know about you guys, but I was complaining about this, and maybe this is just me, just be so used to the past. I fucking hate it that Jimmy Lennon Jr. can't say it's Showtime if he's not on Showtime. What the fuck?
Copyright.
That shit grinds my gears. Like, that's what he's known for. That's like telling Michael Buffer he can't say, let's get ready to rumble. Like, what the hell? Is that HBO trademark too?
Like, Michael Buffer has that trademark. Like, people don't know, like, Michael Buffer is paid. Like, dude literally get close to 1 million saying them words. Like,
yeah. Yeah, and because now he's on the zone right now, getting the bag every time he says it. Like he's there for like one fight, just to say that.
Yeah, fucking Jimmy Lennon can't say it's Showtime if he's not on Showtime. Actually, no. He could say it if like when they were fighting on CBS, but that's because CBS is technically a part of Showtime. Yeah,
Right.
owned by Showtime. But it fucking it grinds my gears.
Yeah, what y'all want him to say? It's Premier Champion Boxing. Like, nah, nigga. He gotta make something else up.
Oh man. But man, you know, we can't hate on it. So yeah, Jimmy Lennon, I mean, he still does his thing, man. He's a cool guy too. I mean, I got to meet him once. You know, very.
Yeah, he was always not. I got to meet him too. He's a cool dude. Like he was always my favorite of the Showtime like crew. He was the nicest of them. Unlike that dick Jim Gray. Jim Gray's a fucking dick.
The way he said it. Oh man, that was like years of pent up frustration. He's like, yeah, like that dick, Jim.
I like the day I met him and he walked away. I thought to myself, now after all these years, I can see why James Toney wanted to put hands on this dude.
Don't let me do like. Yo, James Toney's that dude, man. Oh man, that was funny.
Oh man, yeah, but yeah, Jimmy. I mean, of course, I can do a person of Jimmy Lennon Jr. what he said, you know. But it's a podcast, you know. I don't want to do that because I don't want to insinuate anything. But yeah, you know. But he was a cool guy, you know. Nonetheless, I want to emphasize that.
Word.
Right. But yeah, main event, man.